You guys know Chairman Mao. He's the founding father of the current China. But did you know Chairman Mao killed 40 million people just based on his spontaneous inspiration? When we talk about inspiration, I think one of the most inspirational stories is Newton. One day he was sitting under the apple tree, and apple drops on his head. He was like, ouch, why apple is dropping on my head? And then, based on that thought process and inspiration, he came up with the law of gravity. That was scientific breakthrough. And centuries later in China, Chairman Mao was sitting outside and he saw a little bird was eating a grain. And then he had his Newton moment of inspiration. And instantly he started thinking, wow, this bird is eating grain. How many birds do we have in China? Billions of birds. If they're eating grains every day, oh my God, this is lots of food. We need to preserve and protect our foods from these birds. And then what happened? Based on his spontaneous inspiration, Chairman Mao single handedly declared war against birds and sparrows in China. Overnight, hundreds of millions of Han Chinese were chasing birds on the streets, on the farms, everywhere they could find birds. They kill the birds. In less than a year, on the trees, on the skies, in China, you would not see birds anymore because they were killed by the Chairman Mao's war against birds. And then what happened? It turns out birds were not only eating grains, their main food source was insects like locusts. When the natural predators like birds are gone, farms across the China became all you can eat buffet for locusts and all other insects. And guess what happened? The farms got destroyed within a year. And that there were a great famine from 1959 to 1961. And the 40 million people died out of hunger and starvation. When you look into Chinese history, you will see that this 40 million people died simply because Mao wanted to declare war against birds and sparrows. Now today, I understand there are millions of Muslims are looking up to China. They see Shanghai and Shenzhen, that they see this neon lights at night. They're like, oh my God, China is so great. And they look up to China. I think before we look up to China, also we need to look down into their history to see how many people the Chinese Communist Party killed. They killed 40 million of their own just based on one decision. Don't you think it's much easier for them to kill millions of Uyghur people? Now we're impressed with China, but I do believe many of us, if we were living in a time of Pharaoh, I am pretty sure when we look at the pyramids, we will be like, wow, Pharaoh and his country was such a great country. Look at these pyramids, right? So we will be impressed too. What happened? Pharaoh was enslaving Bani Israel, and China is enslaving the Bani Uyghurs. I believe China is killing way more people than Pharaoh. My brothers and sisters, there's a story in Quran that Qarun was one of the richest men. People were so impressed with his wealth. People like, oh, we wish we were like him, so rich and wealthy. What happened? The earth swallowed Qarun and Allah destroyed Qarun. Look at it today. China is as rich as Qarun. China is as powerful as Pharaoh. But it will come to an end, and your Uyghur brothers and sisters will be free one day. But today, we can make it faster by spreading the awareness about the Uyghur genocide and the true face of China. Please share. Take care. Salam alaikum.